What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tabletop Bros. Today, we're going to be unboxing Dreadfleet by Games Workshop. Pirate battles on the Warhammer high seas. So this is one of those games that's always been kind of cool, and I almost picked up a couple of times over the years, but never quite pulled the trigger on. I wasn't really sure if I was going to play it, when I was going to play it, or if anybody would even want to play it with me. The price tag was a little bit on the high side, like most Games Workshop products, and without a specific reason, I just never quite pulled the trigger on it. And over the years, it's only gotten harder and harder to get. You don't see them floating around that often, but recently I stumbled upon a copy at a really good price. I was actually able to pick this up for about $100, just under, but by the time I paid shipping and tax and everything, it was like $108. I haven't actually opened this up yet, and the pictures that came along with it were really bad. It was difficult to tell if the box set is complete, and because I've never owned it before, I'm not even sure everything's gonna be here, so I figured why not open it up together. But before we do, take a look at what we can expect inside. Captain Ross Hunt for the legendary Dreadfleet has led him deep into the fabled galleon graveyard. With the aid of the world's most dangerous pirate lords, the wild-eyed captain intends to send the vampire Count Noctilus to a watery grave. Yet the Count has allies too, each at the helm of a gigantic and unnatural warship. Can the pirate lords battle through legions of skeletal sailors, zombie sea monsters, and hurricanes of raw magic to slay the master of the galleon's graveyard once and for all? Dreadfleet is a game for two players that allows you to enact an intrepid vampire hunt in nautical otherworld. One player commands the pirate lords of Saratosa, whilst the other controls a coalition of dark and dangerous undead captains. Dreadfleet is quick to learn, but hard to master, and provides countless hours of swashbuckling fun, thunderous broadsides, and heroic daring do as you navigate 12 exciting scenarios. Will the captain get his vengeance upon his deathless nemesis, or will the galleon's graveyard claim their lives too? So this box contains a 98-page rulebook, Seascape Gaming Mat, 10 Warships, 10 Scenic Bases, 7 Cog Auxiliaries, 1 Dragon Auxiliary, 1 Dwarf Dirigible Auxiliary, 7 Islands, 5 Shipwreck Pieces, 3 Sea Monsters, 5 Treasure Tokens, 12 Dice, 1 Wind Gauge, 1 Ship Wheel, 1 Navigation Rod, 10 Warship Cards, 10 Order Cards, 55 Damage Cards, 40 Fate Cards, 12 Auxiliary Cards, 10 Wound Cards, and 11 Miscellaneous Cards. So this is copyright 2011. So it's about 13 years old at this point in time. And I checked online to see what a new copy of this goes for. And for an unopened copy, you're looking at probably somewhere around like 200 to 300 USD. So I definitely got a steal on this one, depending on what's inside. But from what I saw in the pictures, which again weren't very detailed, you couldn't really tell what was going on. It looked like it's maybe complete, hopefully. So let's take a look. All right, so right off the bat, we've got one super big sprue right here. So this has got like all the big islands on it and the different shipwrecks. It's got the measuring gauges, and this sprue is complete. All right, so next we have one of the boat sprues right here. And we can see what looks like maybe 3 different boats on this sprue. And again, looks good, looks complete. All right, and then again, we've got another one. This looks like it's got a big boat on it, some smaller boats, a little sea monster action, and again, looks complete. All right, and then again, we've got a couple more of the big boats on it. Very cool. The actual models and detail is amazing. We'll take a closer look. All right, and then this one looks like just some accessories, a bunch of sails for like the bigger ships and stuff like that. Again, looks complete. And then this is the last sprue in the set, and this just looks like all the actual bases for the ships themselves, and then like some sort of like token or device here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 sprues, including one gigantic one, and they do all look to be complete. All right, and then still in the box here, we've got just a little piece of paper there. So here we've got our little bag of dice. And then we have some cards here. It says submerged on them. That's one card deck. And then we have a larger card deck here. Full speed ahead. This looks like some orders maybe. And then one more little card deck right here. It's got some wound counters and stuff in there. And then we see just some actual bags, probably just to keep everything sorted out, keep track of your cards and everything. And then this is the actual play mat, which this is super cool. Like, I haven't actually seen one of these in person before, but from what I saw in the pictures and everything, this looks awesome. Okay, so that's everything in the box. It looks like it's complete to me. I checked out a couple pictures of what to expect inside, and I think this is everything. So let's take a look at this battle mat first here. Okay, so this is super cool. It's basically like a heavy cloth and it feels really nice quality. It's got like nice stitching on the end so it doesn't fray or anything like that. It's one-sided, but it's got like a heavy feel to it. It's kind of got like a little bit of a shimmer also. Very, very cool. So this area that we're actually like filming on is a 22 by 30 like Kill Team or Warcry board. Okay, and this looks substantially larger, so it's not going to fit on here basically. This is essentially like still folded in half, and it's taking up like twice this area. Okay, so it might say on the box somewhere, or probably like in the instructions, and it looks like this is basically like half of the actual board itself, or like the playmat. Really like the quality of this. I mean, this is extremely nice. So this is basically the other half of it, and again, it's over twice the size of this board. I would imagine it's probably like 48 by 36, which is 3 feet by 4 feet if I had to guess. Let me check real quick. Okay, so it is 42 by 60 inches. So kind of like random dimensions. I would imagine it's like going for like your regular like tabletop. Really nice overall pattern, really nice quality. The actual like stitching goes all the way around it. It's got like a little bit of a stretch to it. Just really, really cool quality. Definitely something I've never seen in any of Games Workshop's other games, and really, really nice. It looks like it would be really cool for like actually filming or playing on top of too, because it has like a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's not so reflective like a regular like kind of glossy like table board to where it would like mess with your cameras. But really, really cool, really nice. But like realistically, the reason I picked this up is I kind of want to play it. Always thought it would be cool, but more than that, I've got like some cool ideas for maybe like a diorama type setting or building something along those lines. And as soon as my brain started cooking, I started like paying attention to listings and kind of like looking around the internet and everything. And then next thing you know, I found this for a deal. So even though I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing with it, I'm sure I'm going to do something cool with it. It's going to get built. It's going to probably get played with, but most importantly, it's going to get painted. At least some of it. So here are the actual bases for the ships. So it's basically like 10 actual bases for what appear to be like the larger ships. So pretty cool. All right, and then this one is like the majority of the sails. So we can see like the various masts and everything. We can see the sails. A lot of them have like really, really nice detail actually printed on them. Like super cool texture. Like all Games Workshop products, this is really, really nice, really high quality. Very, very cool. Okay, and then this is the first of the actual ships themselves. And one of the things that kind of got me like excited and looking at this and thinking about it is, well, one, like I said about dioramas and everything, but two, like the talks about the old world and everything. And like this ship right here is like Tomb King, like kind of ship. The idea of like vampires and like the fantasy battles and stuff like that just sort of got me like thinking about stuff like this. And the more I looked into it, the more I saw like the stuff that came in the kit. I was curious about like the sizes. I really just like wanted to own it so that I could mess around with it, potentially do something cool, play it, who knows. But this is very, very cool. The actual detail and everything on these like little sea monsters slash like ships is amazing. This one looks like a kind of like squid, but it's actually like a ship. This one looks like a sea monster, but again, it's like an actual ship. But you can see like instead of having like the little light from like the Finding Nemo creature, it actually has like a bell hanging off of it. A ton of awesome sculpts and work went into this, that is for sure. Okay, and then this one's got a bunch of like the more chunky stuff going on right here. So this is like a multi-level ship right here. Here's the second half of that. And then we see these are like some really small ships right there. We have some actual like creature slash like sea monsters on this sprue as well. This one is one of my favorite actual ships from the box and from the artwork and everything. It basically has like a mountain and like castle built onto it. Just really, really nice sculpts here. All right, and then this is the last one of the actual ships. Again, just really cool stuff right here. This one is like a dwarven, like kind of ironclad type ship. This one's got like some dragons going on and stuff like that. There's like a like wind and fire elemental on one of these. Just really, really cool stuff right here. And you can see like the tiny little planks on like the decks of these little ships and everything. I mean, the quality of this is absolutely amazing. And then this one is the final sprue from the set. So basically a normal Games Workshop sprue, or what I would call a sprue, is half of this. So this is like a double sprue. And these are all like regular size like sprues, which would be like roughly like 9 by 11, something like that. This one is essentially double that size. And this one is like really weighty. You can see obviously the size of these big old pieces, these massive like island terrain pieces. But this sprue is heavy. And then it comes with a cool like measuring device, which is actually in 3 pieces. And then it looks like they hook together so you can kind of like swivel it as you go. I would imagine it has something to do with like how the movement is limited in this game. Again, like this is super cool. It's basically like a big island, like a bunch of rocks and stuff like that. And then it looks like it has like a castle that's built onto it. Same with this one here as well. It's like a really big like elaborate island setup with the actual castle. And then we can see there's like a giant turtle and like a couple other like shipwrecks and everything. This is just a really, really nice set. Very, very cool models. They're tiny, obviously, but the detail on them is amazing. Legion Imperialis just came out for like the Horus Heresy / like Warhammer kind of 30K world. And it's all like the tiny little space marines and tanks and stuff like that. And I think that's part of like what excited me about this as well. Maybe like kind of dive down this little rabbit hole of the internet and eventually buy this set. I was looking at and like negotiating a couple sets for like around like 200 bucks that were open but appeared to be complete. I was trying to get one closer to like 100, 150. And then like I said, I scored this one basically with some really bad pictures from like a thrift store online. And it was somewhere around like 75 bucks. By the time I paid shipping and tax and everything, I got it for like $108, I think it was. Which after seeing everything in this set and the quality of it and everything, this is just absolutely amazing. So I can't remember if it was supposed to be 6 or 7 sprues. I'm assuming that it was 6 and one was like the double sprue and that everything is here. But just kind of laying this out, I mean, this is absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to actually like build these, to mess around with this stuff. And then hopefully, like I said, I'm looking to like build this into like a cool little diorama setup. Been watching a lot of like Trent stuff from Miscast and getting like super excited about just doing stuff outside the box. And I built my first diorama actually, so I'm gonna have a video for that sometime in the near future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that and there'll be more of those to come. But this is just absolutely amazing. I have to say this was a great buy. I don't remember what the MSRP was on this, like when it was new back in the day. Now granted, that's like 13 years ago at this point in time, but I feel like picking it up for like $100 is an absolute steal. And honestly, after seeing the components, seeing it in like my actual workspace and dealing with the board itself and everything like that, I could say that this is definitely worth like $200. Matter of fact, if I had actually been like hands-on with this stuff before, seen like the quality of it and the detail on stuff, seen that awesome like cloth battle mat with like the nice stitching and everything to make sure that it holds up, just the overall quality of this setup without even knowing anything about the game or if it's cool, I could definitely say that this set is worth 200 bucks. So if you have been like thinking about picking this up or actually like considering picking it up now after seeing this, I don't think that's a bad idea. I would definitely recommend it. Even if you do end up paying closer to like 150 or like $200, I think it's definitely worth it. So for sure going to see some future like build, painting, diorama stuff with this setup right here. Possibly even some gameplay, although it's like a little less likely. But just wanted to bust into this with you guys and just kind of take a look at this. I'm super excited to actually like build some of this stuff up and paint it. I am very impressed with like the size and detail of all the stuff in the set. This is very, very cool. And just kind of looking at the actual box right here and just seeing what some of this stuff looks like all finished up. I mean, this is like the massive one with the castle on top of it. This ship is huge. I think that's the biggest one. You can see also like the actual terrain pieces, how big they were in real life and then how little they are on this. I think it doesn't really do like the actual size of this stuff justice. Because when I'm looking at like these big like castle pieces and everything and seeing them on that double sprue, and then I'm seeing like this picture here, everything looks like substantially smaller than it actually is. So not everything that comes out, especially like older stuff, doesn't tend to age that well. But in this case, I have to say, this like really holds up. And a matter of fact, if I had seen this probably like out and about, painted up or in a showcase, had I seen someone like playing it in a shop or something like that, I probably would have bought this. But for whatever reason, it was just never really that popular. I remember seeing it like on the shelves over the years. I remember seeing the price tag and thinking it was kind of cool, but never really being compelled to pull the trigger. And I guess it was just fate because I am really happy with my purchase this time. So yeah, I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Let me know if you have any experience with Dreadfleet. Have you ever played this before? Have you ever seen these models in person? What is your experience with it? Or after seeing this, does it excite you? Are you thinking about maybe trying to get a copy of your own? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions. And if you did enjoy today's video and this unboxing of like a retro game that's no longer available, make sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. But yeah, I think that's it for the Tabletop Bros. Later.